Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're joining us from. Thanks for being here. This is the Papa Joe Show, where Papa Joe knows. I am your host, Papa Joe. Been in and out of pocket for a little bit, as some of you guys noticed that you follow Bitcoin Ben. I was up at his office this past week, and I did some shows with him there. I did the Wednesday night entrepreneur show with him there, and then I did his regular show on Thursday, I think. Thursday morning, I think, is when we did that. But anyways, those of you who caught that, thanks for joining in and paying attention to it, and really appreciate it. It means a lot to me, and to Ben too, that you're there. So I did spend some time with him and get to know him, do some stuff, see what they're doing there. So that was a lot of fun. So it was a very, very fun time. Yeah, so I'm back in the saddle now, trying to recap on some stuff that happened last week and kind of looking forward into some things that are taking place this week. Lots and lots and lots happening in the world that are going to be, unfortunately, catastrophic for the vast majority of people, but not for us, I don't think. I think we'll feel it, but it won't be like what we're dealing with, what a lot of people will be dealing with. And the reason being is because we have been blessed to be able to know and see the cryptocurrency side of things and what's taking place in the world as far as that's concerned. So, first things first, do me a favor, please, and share this out on your socials. Get the word out, get more people in on the live stream. Obviously, the more people in here to see it live, the more fun it can be and helps the channel out and grow it and all that fun stuff. Second thing, subscribe. Help me grow the channel. Even if you don't want to hit the bell and hear everything I have to say and all that fun stuff and get all the updates, totally cool. But do me a favor and help me grow the channel and just subscribe. It really means a lot to me and it sure does help it out. And then, of course, smash those likes. That helps the algorithms find more people that like this type of content to find it. So maybe it's something that you do or do not like, whatever. It's up to you. But it'll help the algorithms find or help the people who are looking for this type of information to find it a little easier. So with that, I'll go ahead and pop in through here and say good morning to everyone. We got Tom. Good morning, sir. Good morning. How are you doing today? Badass Accountant, good morning. Thanks for always being here. You guys are amazing. Good morning, Aunt Manny. You are awesome. Thanks for being here. Yes, it is live. Look at you. You are here today. How about that? Good morning, Steven. How are you doing today? Oh, sorry. Well, it'll work. Yeah, I'll be here. But good morning to you as well. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. So yeah, good morning. Good morning. Appreciate you guys all being here. Good morning, Crypto Sherpa. How's it going, my friend? Good morning. Good morning. So with that, like I said, I really appreciate it. I've been out past couple of days just because, I went to spend time with Ben and we had a lot of fun and we talked about a lot of different things that are happening out there and doing a lot of different things. We got Diane. Good morning. Good morning. And Joanna. Good morning. Good morning. Appreciate you guys being here. Good morning. So it's going to be fun stuff as we talk about some of the stuff today. Ben and I talked about some things and around what we're going to talk about today and kind of covered it on his show a little bit on Thursday. But yeah, we are heading into some interesting times that we haven't seen in a long time. And it significantly has to do with inflation, and it significantly has to do with us being able to get out of that mess of inflation with cryptocurrencies. Now, a lot of people don't realize that not just holding your cryptos, but you can actually make money with cryptos, like a residual income with cryptos. And it's really, really, really kind of cool. So I kind of touch on that a little bit today as well. Not a whole lot. I did a show on my Patreon, which I do not have that running. I am sorry, guys. I am out of practice here. So I do a Patreon every day at 4:30. Scrolling around the bottom here, and it's also linked in the description of the channel or the video here. Excuse me. So I do that so that I can have a Papa Joe unfiltered time where we could talk about things like the banking systems and the history of that and like the making residual income with cryptocurrency. I do that there as well. It's $5 a month if you want to join. It is what it's there. If you guys want to be there, part of that. A lot of you already are. So those of you are, it really means a lot to me. Thank you. It means a lot to me. So without further ado, day. Let's see here. Let's see, make sure I pop this over. So, who remembers the Weimar Republic? Historically speaking, from a monetary perspective, who remembers the Weimar Republic? Raise of hands in the chat there. By the way, there's a live chat, everyone. If you want to have a conversation with everyone and me as well, I bring you up on screen here too and all that fun stuff. Weimar Republic. They were kind of going into a time very similar to the way that was. Although theirs was destroyed because of the war and everything that took place and all that fun stuff. But people were given all this money, like we've been seeing the past couple of years, and then, they took that money and they put it under the mattresses. And then inflation hit because they printed too much money. And when inflation hit, they were told in newspapers and different articles to spend their paychecks as soon as they got them. Yeah, that's what they did. And those who put their money under the mattresses eventually would bring their money to the supermarket and they would buy stuff and they would realize that they didn't have enough with them. They had to go back home and get more. And they were like, wait a minute, this isn't normal. Eventually, you've heard the term wheelbarrow money. Yeah, they would use wheelbarrows of money to buy a week's worth of groceries. And because the paper, the black stacks of hundreds or whatever they would have then were worth nothing. We're going into a time that's very, very similar to that with the U.S. dollar. And unfortunately, the rest of the world uses the U.S. dollar as its primary backing. So the dollar is technically the world reserve. And what that means, for anyone who hasn't heard that, it means that all the other countries hold and reserve U.S. dollars for value in a ability to purchase. Well, America, the U.S. dollar has gone and they printed too much money. And what's ended up happening is all those dollars and whatever sitting in those different vaults for all these different countries is becoming worth less. Literally worthless, but worth less every day. See what I did there? By the way, everything I say on the show is for entertainment purposes only. It is not to do your own research, please. Probably educational too. Hopefully you're learning some stuff. But anyways, I digress. Let's pop in here. So I draw the correlation there. Show this real quick. Bloomberg article is mocked for suggesting Americans spend their paycheck immediately to cope with inflation. Now, down here in one of the thingamabobbers, one of these little things here. Yep, here it is. Americans turning into America. It literally says this. America is turning into the Weimar Republic, with financial magazines advising people to spend their paychecks as soon as they get paid. Hyperinflation is coming. Right. Former investment banker Carol Roth quoted a line from a deleted World Economic Forum video, writing, "You will own nothing and you will be happy." They're trying to basically say, we're going to own everything, you're going to rent it from us. What does that sound like? Socialism, communism, all those fun isms that we in America will not put up with. And probably hard for you guys to see that, so I apologize. Let's bump that up there. There we go. Interesting, isn't it? How we start to see all this talk about hyperinflation all of a sudden. In a high inflation economy, that where was I going? I moved the mouse and I lost my spot. Sorry about that. Anyways, in a high inflation economy, basically everything you have on the shelves is worth more of the dollars. The goods haven't changed in supply. Now, they are trying to tell you that. They're trying to create a supply chain issue to cause a reason or a plausible deniability that they printed too much money. And they're holding different things at ports and stuff like that. Like, remember the lumber shoot up, that all the lumber prices shot up like nuts, stupid, crazy? Yeah. There were people who are on TikTok, believe it or not, of all things, going around, and since TikTok is only maximum 3-minute video, and thousands of people see it before they can get it deleted, and for the most part, you can download the videos, so they kind of live forever as long as the account's not banned or anything like that. You can take those videos, and they were taking videos of the ports stacked as high as a 3 or 4 story building of pallets of lumber. They're causing the rise in prices by preventing the goods from coming in, things like that. So think about it from a perspective of they're trying to figure out how to blame everything and anything except for their policies. Let's put it that way, around the rise in price and inflation and what they're doing. Just, guys, it was really, really cool, guys and gals, that we could do is we can actually go in, take those paychecks instead of spending it, and put it into cryptocurrency, which is what they don't want you to do. All of the banks, all the systems are trying to block us from being able to do that, and that's fine, but they're not going to stop us. There's no way they can stop you from doing that. If you want to do it, you can do it. Please be aware that that is very, very, very easy for you to do. Now, a lot of people are like, well, it's not that easy. Like, okay, well, I was talking to my grandfather last night. He's retired. He's an older gentleman, obviously. And he's like, how do I get into crypto? How do I buy crypto? How do I spend it? Et cetera, et cetera. And I was easily just showing him. It's as easy as sending an email. And he got that. I showed him, and he got that. He's like, that is easy. That is cool. By the way, I used the Divi wallet to show him. It's very, very cool. But if you're not familiar with Divi, you really need to look at the Divi project. Divi is one of the coolest projects out there, making crypto easy and widely available for anyone and everyone. They have one-click masternodes where you can, the masternodes and the one-click staking kind of thing, where you can actually earn a residual income. And if you have enough in there are people that I know personally who are living off of the returns of those Divi nodes. And that's how you can do that, by the way. You take the money you have, again, not financial advice, the paychecks you get, put it into cryptocurrency, put it into Divi, put it into Matic. You guys know I've covered Matic here before, or Polygon is the ticker's Matic. I'm been in that one so long since it was Matic, but then rebranded to Polygon, so I'm still going to call it Matic. Sorry. It really, really is fun to see portion of the paycheck or all of the paycheck and move it directly into crypto. Now, if your bank's not going to let you do that, there are ways for you to take your direct deposit paychecks and send those directly into a crypto account that never actually hit your checking account. And that's something I should probably show you guys on the Patreon. That's going to take a little more time, and I try to keep these videos about 30 minutes or so. And just in case, we go over just kind of showing you guys that kind of stuff, we will try to do that one there. So anyways, let's see. Yeah, so Busy Mountain, I'll pull that up there. You're sponsoring to someone else up here. The censorship is real. I can only comment on live stream on YouTube. Regular communication is not available for me. It is pretty crazy. And Joanna, yes, Matic is on fire. Legitimately. It is huge. The Matic platform, who they're partnering with, and the things that they're capable of doing is just phenomenal. I've done a couple of different shows on Matic. Go back and watch those. Really should pay attention to that one. But from a residual income perspective, these are like buying rental properties that you don't have to maintain. And I've told you guys this. If you take the time to learn how to do that, I've shown you guys, I've done a video on my Patreon to show you guys how to do the residual income. If you're on the Patreon, go watch it. Even if you're not, it's $5 for 1 month. Pop in there, sign up, and then just go find that video and watch it. And if you can't, I'm going to make sure it's there, because I did have to switch over to channels. And if it's not there, I will make sure that is there. And I'll pin it to the top so you guys can go find that pretty easily. So I'll do that after this video, after the show today here. But anyways, so as we're coming into higher inflation, and we've got newspaper articles or whatever magazines you want to call it, telling you spend your money as fast as you can, help inflation. Yeah, no, that's not going to do anything except cause more velocity. The higher the velocity, that's not going to fix inflation. That actually is only going to make it worse, as Weimar Republic found out. Because there's more dollars in circulation when you do that instead of being held out. Think about it. So, a lot of people didn't really notice or not, but Fitch, you guys who know who Fitch is? They are a ratings agency. Declares China's Evergrande is a default. I don't know if y'all have seen any of this yet. This was on December 9th. This is when I was with Ben. I saw this come across. I was like, oh, I have to cover that. It's like, crap. It's still relevant, though. The reason it's still relevant is because it is a tidal wave that's going to smash the world of bonds, smash the world of real estate, smash the world of commercial real estate too. Real estate, period. Uh, Rick Costa, can I spend my money as fast as I can on Bitcoin? Yes, sir, you can. Except you're trading it for real money when you do that, right? Anyways, so Fitch declares it in bankrupt. So it's interesting. Fitch Ratings said on Thursday it downgraded the long-term foreign currency issuer default ratings, or IDR, of property developer China Evergrande Group and its subsidiaries, not just Evergrande, but the subsidiaries. So Joanna, I can't pull that up because I need the video to stay up, but yes, that is exactly correct. They own Evergrande and all the subsidiaries, and the reason they do is because they haven't been able to pay anything, and they're still not going to be able to pay anything. And y'all can't even read that, can you? I am so sorry. There we go. On my end, it looks legible, but when I go to look at the other screen over here, it's not. So there you go. Anyways, so all of the subsidiaries. Do you guys understand that that's not just Evergrande? That's huge other companies as well. You just got to realize something else. Here, Fitch also noted that another Chinese developer, whatever, is in restricted default after failing to repay $400 million bond. Okay. The real estate, the reason this is a big deal, everyone's like, oh, it's in China. Oh, it's in China. It's in China. No, it's not. A lot of people don't realize Evergrande and its subsidiaries own land globally. That was part of the whole goal for the the party that wants to see global domination take place. Let's put it that way. Trying to be very careful here, so forgive me. We can talk a lot more about this type of stuff on Patreon, and I can be very forthright with what I'm saying about it. So, they have Evergrande liabilities are more than $300 billion, and they can't even pay. I think what I talked about a couple weeks ago. They can't even pay like $82 million interest payment on one of the bonds. The interesting thing is that they're having struggle. They're gonna take care of their internal. They're gonna take care of China. They're gonna pay back their lenders. Then they're gonna say screw the rest of the world. The rest of the world is gonna have to suffer. Basically, the bondholders of the Federal Reserve holding the bonds would make sense for them to do that. The other banks holding the bonds, they're going to fail because that's a massive amount of their holdings. And the reason being is because, well, who doesn't pay their debt on real estate? That's their thinking. Remember back in 2008 when we had that crisis here and we had the mortgage-backed securities? Basically, that is a security that is backed by the mortgage market, we'll call it. Just to put it into perspective, when people stop paying their mortgages, that's what caused everything to fail. Well, this is very similar to what's taking place. You guys need to understand that this is going to ripple across the entire global economy because we are in a global economy. This is going to cause them to seriously crumble. And it's going to affect all markets because all markets in some way, form, or fashion, unfortunately, are tied to real estate. The reason being is because dirt doesn't really fluctuate in value. It's not supposed to. And then the reason why dirt or housing or commercial real estate has been going up is because of inflation. Not because of its value, but because of its inflation. The reason inflation causes the values, it's the same thing at the grocery store. It costs you more of your dollars to buy the same thing. Houses around my area, my wife and I have told y'all, we've been trying to buy a house. We've looked and looked and looked, and we stopped looking whenever the home values in our area went from a specific price and then jumping $300,000-$400,000 more in 1 year time. 1 year time. A house sold in our neighborhood right here. This neighborhood shouldn't be selling at the price point that sold for. It sold more than $200,000 more than it should have been. Its actual value is. Okay, that just means that the inflation has doubled, and people aren't realizing that yet. It hasn't hit yet. And I'll kind of cover that here in a minute as well. This goes into, I've pulled this one up just to put, oh no, never mind. I didn't mean to pull this one up. I thought I'd close this one. Sorry about that. Let's see here. Oh, CNN even starts reporting about it. That Evergrande has defaulted on its debt. Now Beijing is intervening. You following? Beijing is intervening. That's that party that wants to seek world domination to prevent a disorderly collapse of the indebted real estate group that could wreak havoc on all the world's second biggest economy. So they're stepping in. They're too big to fail. They're not too big to fail. I think they're going to make an example of Evergrande and its subsidiaries because there are other ones that are even bigger that are doing the same thing. This article actually talks about the CEO or the board members actually selling their stocks. Or is this isn't the right one. Anyways, I'm going to move on here real quick. Let's point this out here. This article says the Fed could tackle inflation this week by clearing the way for earlier, faster interest rate hikes. Raising the interest rate in a fiat currency system technically does nothing. When it's at this point, it doesn't do anything. It's because there's too much money in circulation. It's because they've printed too much money. All those stimulus checks, all those trillions of dollars that didn't even go to American people, that went to pay off other countries and other companies, that went somewhere that didn't go into the American people's pockets, but now it's circulating back in our economy. Just need you guys to understand that in November, the spike of consumer prices is the last of, there's multiple different levels of inflation. And I had that stupid article pulled up earlier and I couldn't find it, so I'm going to try and do this from memory. The spike in consumer prices that left inflation at a 4-decade high of 6.8% in November has prompted the Federal Reserve to dramatically shift its approach to recent weeks to its its eyes earlier, faster interest rate hikes. So before they were talking about tapering. Tapering means they're going to stop buying bonds. They're going to stop buying stocks. They're going to stop buying. They're going to stop propping the economy up is basically what that means. Because if you didn't know it, by the way, those of you who are new to my channel, the Federal Reserve, they kind of they hold the economy up. They spend so much money buying bonds, buying and selling the debt of other banks. They control the monetary system in every way possible, and they're quite literally the lifeblood to the economy right now. The moment they start to pull back, that's when we started. If you guys haven't noticed, they started tapering, and then the stock market started going down. I wonder why. You think? And it's causing a knee jerk, by the way, in the crypto markets. But let's just put it this way: all markets, including crypto, are going to go down when this happens. I think it's starting to happen now. It's just a gut feeling. Probably wrong. I'm not right on most things, but some of this stuff. Well, I'm trying to be humble. Most stuff here is you got to realize that as soon as they start pulling the plug, it's that the economy is going to collapse entirely. And then people will realize that Bitcoin will only go so far. Cryptocurrencies will only go so far. And they'll stop. Because people like me, and a lot of you guys in the chat here, and a lot of you guys that follow me, you're not you're not letting go of what you have. I'm not letting go of what I have. I'll lend it out. I'll use it. I will park it in a residual income asset that's going to pay me forever, constantly, without ever taking my assets out of the market. Just to put it into perspective for you guys, that's where we're headed. People like us, we've been in this for so long. That's, being an earlier miner, you take that kind of stuff and you put it in something that's going to be a residual income and you live off of it. It's that simple. It is that simple. Thanks, Busy Mountain. I appreciate that very much. I think it's all about to collapse. And like I said, I think that we're going to see cryptos come down too. And it'll nosedive just like everything else, but it'll stop because there's not going to be anyone else selling. And everyone who's selling is going to be moving into cash, and they're going to be so stupid for doing that. They're going to quickly realize that by moving into cash, all they did was increase the inflation, increase the available dollars in circulation. And what that is going to do is going to cause it's going to cause an even worse problem. And they're going to take even the dollars that are worth even less than when they sold them, and they're going to try and buy back into crypto. And there's going to be no liquidity on crypto. If you guys realize, you got to realize that crypto, when this happens, the liquidity is going to be very, very, very low because the miners aren't selling their coins anymore. They're not selling the coins anymore because of this milestone. Bitcoin touches a new milestone with 90% of total supply mined. Do you understand? Only 10% of the coins mined. It will not get mined. The entire supply will never technically be mined because it'll constantly always be half. But the last whole Bitcoin, 2140. And then the mining systems will just continue to crank. They'll continue to crank to process the transactions because it'll be so profitable just to do that, just to process the transactions at that point. They won't care. That will be a residual income for the miners. I used to mine. Those of you who know me and have met me, I used to be a miner. And it's going to be a massive, massive jump here. So real quick, I want to touch this real quick. A lot of people aren't paying attention to this, I think, data point. This is, by the way, how I'm interpreting this, and I could be wrong, and that's fine. If you guys correct me if I'm wrong, please. I want to learn. I want to learn as much from you guys as I hope you're learning from me. So if I misspeak, please tell me. Totally cool. Want to learn everything. So inflation surges 6.8 in November. Okay. This article talks about all that fun stuff and all that, whatever. It's a data point I'm trying to point out here. Okay. Bandicoot, good morning. How are you? Thanks for popping in. Sorry, let's look at the chat here. Just going to see. Cool. You guys are always having fun conversation. I want to enjoy that conversation too. Sometimes I go on the Patreon and we just talk. Anyways. So, the data point. Inflation surges to 6.8%. in November. Yeah, well, last month, inflation raised 4.7% in October. Now, I'm looking at this cumulatively. To me, that's 11.5% in 2 months' time. Now, I could be wrong where it's at 4.7%, and then in November it raised from 4.7 to 6.8. Cool, fine, whatever. OMB, you are something else, brother. I can't wait to see you in January. By the way, those of you who don't know, I will be at Bitcoin Ben's event in January, and I will be speaking there. So be on the lookout. If you could come, that would be great. I greatly appreciate it. Would love to shake the hands and see all you beautiful, amazing people, and just get to spend time and talk and have a good old time. As you guys know, it's fun listening. It's fun learning. It's a lot of fun actually spending time with each other. Like-minded people is an amazing time to actually just get to go do that. So anyways, I'm looking at it cumulatively. So to me, October 4.7, November 6.8. I think that's 11.5%. That's the way I look at it. But because I don't know. Because the way it's written, and I've done some legal studies as well, right? So the way it's written, inflation surged 6.8%. So if it surged 6.8% and it was already here, then that's 11.5% in 2 months. People aren't realizing this. This is the way I look at it. And the circulation and the price of things, it sure feels like that's the way it is. It really does. So, anyways, that's gonna probably be it for me today. Like I said, I do my regular live show here at 12:30 Eastern every day, as long as nothing's happening crazy. And if it does, I usually try to have something for you guys to enjoy. And then I do the Patreon show, which is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. I need to flip my camera around. It's the PAPAJO Show on Patreon. So if you do me a favor, subscribe to the channel here. And if you'd like to hear Papa Joe, myself, unfiltered, to talk about discussion points, like all kinds of things, then like the hunger disease and or the cookies that the Cookie Monster is making for everybody, stuff like that, or like banking and how it actually works. Like I've done a history of banking, or like how to build a residual income with cryptocurrencies. Pop into the Patreon. It's $5 a month. Even if you sign up for one month and you don't like it, whatever, cool. Don't care. If you want to pop in there and grab the videos and listen to them, fantastic. So, anyways, enjoy the Bandicoot. Enjoy the cryptocurrency Christmas sale. It's on sale, guys, gals. It's on sale. Go grab some. Have fun. Not financial advice, but you won't regret it because of what it is going to be for humanity, which is freedom, because it rides on this technology called blockchain technology. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and cut it there, everyone. You guys have a wonderful and blessed day, and I will see you all at 4:30 Eastern. Bye-bye.